This is the summary from June 12, 2025. Jane Doe took the stand to testify in the ongoing Sean Diddy Combs trial. Here's what went down in court.
Warning, this video contains explicit and graphic details. If that's not your vibe, now's your chance to click away. But if you're here for the unfiltered truth about what's really going down in that courtroom, keep watching and remember, everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
The day began with the judge allowing the defense to proceed. The defense immediately referenced sealed exhibits, messages from December 2021 between Jane and adult entertainer Cabral, exchanged after one of their infamous hotel nights. Cabral told Jane he loved how dirty she spoke. Jane said she was being friendly, even though emotionally she was struggling. After that night, she saw him with another woman, Gina, and felt crushed. Later, Cabral messaged Jane saying he'd be in Los Angeles and would stay to see her. She responded saying it was her birthday weekend and asked for a personal video. Meanwhile, Sean Combs, who was now being seen publicly with young Miami, wrote Jane a note that she said meant the world to her. But things were growing painful. She watched other women like Gina flaunt gifts online like Cartier love bracelets, while she privately endured difficult hotel nights involving two men, like on Valentine's Day. Despite everything, Jane continued planning hotel nights, even reaching out to Combs and asking him to FaceTime. When he gave her a choice between two men, she picked Paul. She went along with it, she said, because she loved him and wanted to keep his interest. She described feeling uncomfortable during the waiting period before these men were ready for action. So she began buying things like rhino pills to help. Sometimes she'd get lingerie or other items for the encounter, even if the night didn't end with actual intimacy. In another exchange, Combs asked if she wanted to hit Italian, a reference to another entertainer, and she declined. He replied that Paul was enough. These nights, these routines became so common that Jane said she kept playing along despite feeling used. By September 2022, Jane recalled being flown to Vegas on a private jet, watching Combs perform, and ending the night with a hotel session involving another entertainer. She admitted that despite it all, she really loved him. For her birthday, Combs took her to dinner, but placed her in a hotel that conveniently housed the restaurant. She had hoped for something more romantic. He gave her a Van Cleef necklace that night, and she posted a selfie while under the influence of ecstasy. Text messages showed she thanked Cabral for participating in her birthday. She promised him she'd give him everything on Valentine's Day, her way of fulfilling Combs's desires. When she learned Combs had spent time with someone else, Jane said she was devastated. She expressed heartbreak over enduring degrading experiences and still not receiving the same affection he gave others. Jane testified that Combs spent $55,000 out of a $100,000 Turks and Caicos trip budget. He brought diamonds and asked about bringing other entertainers. Though she wanted just him, she went along with his plans. While there, she even invited Cabral, again under encouragement from Combs. She noted that Combs frequently wrote sexually aggressive messages and expected her to reply with graphic language and emojis. While she complied, Jane said it wasn't truly what she wanted, it was what he expected. Eventually, she tried to break up with him. In one voice recording played for the jury, Combs and Jane spoke about being high, with Jane asking for a night without entertainers. This was shortly before the Cassie lawsuit went public. By March 2023, Combs apologized to her via text. They discussed planning another trip, but Jane told the court she felt manipulated and constantly strung along. Even when he gave her diamonds, she said all she really wanted was his love. She even remembered trying to break things off in an Equinox parking lot. Her final reflections were heartbreaking, saying she gave too much of herself in an emotionally draining relationship driven by power, secrecy, and public deception. The defense tried to undercut her story. "Didn't Mr. Combs give you food?" She replied, "He knew what I meant, but yes." They brought up her past messages to Cabral. "Did you tell him that sex with him had been great?" She answered, "Yes." But then came the critical detail. Jane said she got Mr. Combs a mobile TV to play recordings of her with entertainers, so she wouldn't have to keep doing it in real life. Sometimes, she testified, they'd just watch the videos and skip the physical encounter. Was all of it sex with other men? Jane hesitated, but But the judge cut in, instructing her to simply answer, yes. When asked what she saw while preparing for court, Jane said, "My truth." She acknowledged there were moments where no hotel night occurred. Lucky me, but thank God there were such times. When asked how it felt to see messages between Sean and Paul about those nights, she said, "Now that I've seen Sean's message to Paul, probably I did have a hotel night." The attorney accused her of changing her testimony but moved on. On redirect, the prosecution asked one last thing. What violence had Sean committed before asking you to pick up Anton? The defense objected. The judge overruled. "He slapped me." And with that, Jane Doe's emotional, graphic, and damning testimony came to a close. That wraps up the stunning testimony from Jane Doe in the federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. We heard about the manipulation, the violence, the guilt trips, and the luxury, all wrapped in a lifestyle few could imagine, but even fewer would survive. What do you think? Was Jane trapped in a cycle of control, or did she have agency in the madness? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to BeautyBuyGen as we press forward to 10,000 and continue covering this landmark trial in full. Hit that bell so you don't miss the next witness. And binge our Diddy trial playlist to get all caught up. Thank you for watching.